You know that feeling when you've basically donated your heart to the Red Cross and they just never gave it back? That's exactly how I felt. I remember this one particular heartbreak, the kind where you truly thought it was forever. We had plans, dreams, and even matching phone cases. The ultimate sign of commitment, right? Then one day, out of nowhere, it's not you, it's me. Classic. I've heard that so many times, but every time I hear it, it feels like the first time all over again. It hurts so much, guys. It's like you won the lottery, but your prize is a drum full of tears and a lifetime supply of what-ifs. The pain was so real, I swear, my tear ducts were working overtime, probably asking for a bonus check. Moving on, for me, has never been a quick trip to the convenience store. It's more like an epic journey on EDSA during rush hour, never ending and full of traffic in your mind. You try to distract yourself. You go out with friends. You shop till you drop. You even try a new hobby like, I don't know, professional ceiling staring. But at the end of the day, when you're alone in your room, the silence is so loud, it screams their name, it replays your happiest memories, and it reminds you of every single promise that was broken. It's a marathon of emotions, and you're running it barefoot on a road full of tiny, sharp pieces of your shattered heart. It's really hard, friend. The process is just brutal. You go through stages. First there's denial, where you check your phone every 5 seconds, hoping for an I miss you text that will never come. Then comes anger, where you mentally compose a 10-page essay on why they're the worst person on earth, complete with footnotes and a bibliography. After that, bargaining, Lord please, bring them back, I promise I'll be good. And finally, the heavy, soul-crushing sadness. It feels like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and that world is shaped exactly like your ex. It's a cycle that feels impossible to break, especially when you've been through it more times than you can count. And you know what's the worst part? It's the feeling of being disposable, like a tissue paper used and thrown away. You gave your all, your time, your effort, your love, your unlimited data plan, only to be left behind. You start questioning everything about yourself. Am I not enough? Am I not lovable? What did I do wrong? These questions haunt you, turning your mind into a courtroom where you are both the defendant and the prosecutor. You replay every conversation, every fight, every moment, trying to find the exact point where it all went wrong. It's an exhausting, heartbreaking marathon, and sometimes you just want to find a different race to run. If my exes were a collection, I'd probably need a museum by now. Not to brag, but let's just say my heart has been through more seasons than a long-running TV show. I've had so many exes, I could probably form a basketball team with them, complete with a bench and a coaching staff. Each breakup was a unique flavor of pain. There were dramatic ones, like a movie scene with heavy rain. There were also silent breakups, where someone just ghosted, like a ghost who left without saying goodbye. And of course the let's just be friends breakup, which is the polite way of saying, I don't want to be with you anymore, but please still like my Instagram posts. My romantic history is a colorful, chaotic, and often hilarious timeline of trial and error. I've dated the good boys, the bad boys, the mama's boys, and the I'm not ready for a commitment boys. Each one taught me a lesson, whether I wanted to learn it or not. One taught me how to love unconditionally. Another taught me how to spot red flags from a mile away. One ex showed me the beauty of shared dreams, while another taught me that some people are just temporary characters in your life story. It's like I was collecting emotional battle scars, and with each one, I became a little more guarded, a little more cynical, and a lot more tired. The frequency of these breakups made me feel like I was stuck in a loop. It was a cycle of falling in love, believing this was the one, investing everything I had, and then watching it all fall apart. It became a predictable pattern. The initial thrill, the honeymoon phase, the first major fight, the slow drifting apart, and then the inevitable end. It was exhausting. I started to think, maybe the problem isn't them. Maybe the problem is me. Or maybe, just maybe, the problem is the entire concept of the one. Why do we put so much pressure on finding that single, perfect person, when life has shown me that love can come in many forms and from many sources? This long list of exes, this X-Files of mine, became the foundation for a major shift in my perspective. I realized that my heart, despite being broken so many times, still had so much love to give. But maybe, just maybe, it wasn't meant to be given to just one person. Maybe my heart is too big, too amazing to be confined to a single relationship. The pain from each breakup piled up, creating a wall around my heart. But instead of closing it off completely, I started thinking, what if, instead of a wall, I built a gate? A gate that I could open for more than one person, in a way that felt safer and more sustainable for me. For the longest time, I was a firm believer in monogamy. I was the, I hope everyone finds their forever type of person. I dreamed of that one great love, the one who would complete me, the one I would grow old with. I watched romantic movies, listened to love songs, and believed in the fairy tale. I poured all my energy, all my love and all my hopes into one person at a time, hoping that this time, it would be different. But after my museum of exes kept expanding, I started to feel like the fairy tale was a scam. The one great love started to feel like a mythical creature, like a unicorn or a politician who keeps all their promises. The switch didn't happen overnight. It was a slow, gradual realization born out of repeated heartbreak. I was tired of the pressure, the expectations, and the inevitable pain of putting all my eggs in one basket, only to have that basket drop from the 10th floor. I started to question the rules. Who said we have to love only one person at a time? Who wrote the rule book of relationships? Is it a sin to find joy, comfort, and connection with more than one soul? I saw friends in open relationships, and at first I was like, wow, that seems messy. But the more I observed, the more I saw a different kind of happiness. One that was based on honesty, communication, and freedom. So, I decided to try it. I dipped my toes into the world of polyamory and open relationships. It was scary at first. It felt like I was breaking a sacred rule. But it also felt incredibly liberating. Instead of focusing all my romantic energy on one person, I could share it. The pressure was gone. If one person was busy, or we were going through a rough patch, I had other connections to lean on. It was like having a support system for my heart. It wasn't about loving one person less. It was about having more love to give and receive. It was a shift from I hope everyone finds their forever to I hope they are all happy, hoping for the happiness of everyone involved, including myself. This new approach changed everything. It allowed me to love without the fear of being completely shattered if one relationship ended. It wasn't a magic cure for heartbreak. Pain is still pain, but it felt different. The fall wasn't as devastating because I had other hands to hold. It was a conscious choice to redefine what love and commitment meant to me. It was about creating a structure that worked for my heart, a heart that had been through too many wars to survive another all-or-nothing battle. It was my way of saying, I'm taking control of my own happiness. And that, my friends, is a powerful feeling. Imagine going to a buffet. There's roasted pork, sushi, pasta, salad, and a dessert station that's calling your name. Now imagine the waiter tells you, you can only eat one dish. Just one. That would be sad, right? You'll spend the whole night thinking about the crispy pork belly you missed. For me, that's what monogamy started to feel like. It's not that the one dish isn't delicious, it is. But my appetite for connection, for different kinds of intimacy and companionship, is just bigger. Having multiple partners is like enjoying the whole buffet. Each person brings a different flavor to my life, a different kind of joy, a different perspective. One partner might be my intellectual match. We can talk for hours about everything and nothing. Politics, celebrity gossip, the meaning of life. We connect on a deep mental level. Another partner might be my adventure buddy. With them, I can be spontaneous, climb a mountain, or just drive around with no destination. They bring out my playful, carefree side. Then there might be someone who is my source of comfort and stability, the one I can just be quiet with, whose presence is enough to calm my soul. It's not about replacing anyone. It's about appreciating the unique connection I have with each of them. Why choose one when you can have a beautiful combination of everything? The fun part is that there's never a dull moment. My life is a beautiful, chaotic, and colorful tapestry of different personalities and dynamics. One day, I'm on a fancy dinner date. The next, I'm having a simple movie night at home, and the day after, I might be on a group trip to the beach. It keeps me on my toes. It teaches me to be more flexible, more understanding, and a better communicator. You have to be, because you're managing different schedules, different needs, and different emotions. It's a challenge for sure, but it's a challenge that fills my life with so much energy and happiness. It's a constant celebration of love in its many forms. Of course, it's not just about fun and games. The challenge is real. It requires an incredible amount of honesty, not just with my partners, but with myself. You have to be clear about your feelings, your boundaries, and your expectations. Time management becomes a skill you have to master, like a video game. You have to make sure everyone feels valued, seen, and loved. It's not for the faint of heart. But for me, the richness it adds to my life is worth all the effort. It's a lifestyle that allows my heart to be full, diverse, and constantly growing, instead of being confined to a single lonely plate. Aren't you jealous? That's the #1 question I get, usually asked with a mix of curiosity and disbelief. People look at me like I'm a superhero whose special power is the complete absence of jealousy. The truth is, of course, I get jealous. I'm human. Jealousy is a natural emotion, like getting hungry when you see a fast food commercial or feeling sleepy after lunch. It's a signal, a little alarm bell in your heart that says, hey, pay attention, something feels threatening here. The difference is, I've learned not to let that alarm bell control me. I don't let the green-eyed monster take over the driver's seat. Taming jealousy is an art form, and it requires a lot of self-awareness and communication. When I feel that pang of jealousy, maybe one partner is spending a lot of time with someone else, or I see a sweet post online, my first step is not to panic. I take a deep breath and ask myself, okay friend, what is this feeling really about? Is it about fear of being replaced? Is it insecurity? Is it a feeling of being neglected? Most of the time, jealousy isn't about the other person, it's about my own fears. Once I understand the root of the feeling, it becomes much easier to handle. It's like finding the source of a leak instead of just wiping the floor. Communication is the ultimate weapon against the green-eyed monster. In a polyamorous setup, you can't just assume things, you have to talk. Openly, honestly, all the time. If I'm feeling insecure, I talk to my partner about it. I say, hey, I'm feeling a little shaky right now, can I get some reassurance? A good partner will understand and provide that comfort. It's not about asking them to stop seeing other people, it's about strengthening our own connection. We also practice something called compersion, which is like the opposite of jealousy. It's the feeling of joy you get from seeing your partner happy with someone else. It sounds crazy, I know, but it's real, and it's beautiful. Ultimately, dealing with jealousy has made me a stronger and more secure person. It forced me to confront my own insecurities head-on. I learned that my value doesn't decrease just because my partner also finds value in someone else. Love isn't a pie with limited slices, it's more like a candle. When you use it to light another candle, its own flame doesn't diminish. In fact, it just creates more light. So yes, the green-eyed monster still visits me from time to time. But now, instead of letting it wreck my house, I offer it a cup of tea, listen to what it has to say, and then politely show it the door. In the Philippines, you don't need a social media app to know the latest news, you just need a neighbor named Marites. And when you choose a lifestyle that's outside the norm, like polyamory, the Marites network goes into overdrive. Suddenly, everyone has an opinion about your love life. Your friends, your family, your aunt who you only see once a year at Christmas. They all become relationship experts. They'll hit you with the, isn't that messy, or the classic, you should settle down already. Or more my personal favorite, what will other people say, as if other people pay my bills. Dealing with this constant judgment is like being in a perpetual episode of a talk show where you are the only guest and the topic is always why your life choices are wrong. At first, it used to get to me. I would try to explain myself, to justify my choices, to make them understand. I would lay out my entire philosophy on love, heartbreak and happiness, hoping for a nod of approval. But I soon realized that some people don't want to understand, they just want to judge. They are comfortable in their own little box, and anything outside of it seems scary or wrong to them. So, I learned to filter the noise. I developed a very effective smile, nod, and change the topic technique. When an aunt starts her lecture, I just smile, nod, and say, Auntie, your blouse is so pretty. Where did you buy it? It works like a charm. I realize that I don't owe anyone an explanation for how I choose to live my life and who I choose to love. My happiness is not a group project, it's my own personal, amazing responsibility. The people who truly matter, my real friends, the ones who love me for who I am, they may not always understand, but they always support me. They are my safe space. And you know what? The opinions of the Marites network have become a source of comedy for me. I find it hilarious how invested some people are in a life that isn't theirs. It's like they're watching a TV show and they can't wait for the next dramatic episode. So, I let them watch. I'll give them a good show. My life is my stage, and I am the director, the writer, and the star. If they want to be the audience, that's fine, but they don't get to write the script. My love life is my business, and as long as I am happy, honest, and not hurting anyone, their opinions are just background noise. One of the messiest parts of any relationship, monogamous or not, is dealing with the ghosts of relationships past. We all have them, the exes. But in my world, it gets a little more complicated. Imagine this, you're on a date, and your date gets a text from their other partner. Or worse, you run into your partner's ex, who is now dating your other partner's friend. It can feel like a tangled spiderweb of connections, a celebrity-level drama waiting to happen. And let's not even talk about the concept of a third party, because in my world, there might be a fourth, fifth, or sixth party, and they're all invited to the party. The key to navigating this beautiful mess is, again, communication and respect. There are no third parties when everyone is aware of the situation. There are just people. We are all main characters in our own stories, and sometimes, our stories intersect. I've had to learn to be mature about it. I've met some of my partner's other partners. Sometimes it's awkward, sometimes it's fun. We're not always going to be best friends, but we can be civil and respectful. We are all connected by our love for the same person, and that, in a weird way, creates a unique bond. It's about seeing them not as a rival, but as another person who brings happiness to someone I care about. Of course, drama can still happen. Feelings get hurt. Misunderstandings arise. I've seen situations where an ex tries to cause trouble, or where jealousy between two partners of the same person creates tension. It's not a perfect system, but I've found that these situations are often handled better in an open and honest framework than in a monogamous one where cheating and lying are involved. Here, the problems are out in the open. We can talk about them. We can set boundaries. We can work through them together, instead of letting secrets and deceit poison everything. It has taught me to let go of the idea of ownership in a relationship. I don't own my partners, and they don't own me. We are individuals who choose to share parts of our lives with each other. An ex is not a threat to what I have, because what I have is unique to me and my partner. Another person isn't an intruder if the door was open for them. It's a radical shift in thinking, moving away from possession and towards connection. It's messy, it's complicated, and it's not for everyone. But for me, this honest chaos is far better than a seemingly perfect picture that's built on lies. Let me be completely brutally honest with you. A big part of why I choose this lifestyle is for self-preservation. My heart has been through a lot. It's been broken, stomped on, and put back together with emotional glue and a lot of ice cream. After so many devastating breakups, the idea of giving my entire heart to one person again became terrifying. It felt like playing Russian roulette with all the chambers loaded. I couldn't bear the thought of going through that all-consuming, world-ending pain one more time. I needed a new strategy, a defense mechanism for my fragile heart. Loving many people became that defense. It's not that the love is shallow or that I don't care deeply. I do. But I'm distributing the emotional investment. It's like diversifying your stock portfolio. You don't put all your money into one company, because if that company fails, you lose everything. By spreading the love, I'm protecting myself from total emotional bankruptcy. If one relationship ends, it still hurts. Of course, it hurts. But it doesn't destroy me. It doesn't leave me feeling like my entire world has collapsed, because my world is bigger now. It's supported by multiple pillars of love and connection. Some people might call it a coping mechanism, and they're right. It is. I am coping with years of accumulated pain and a deep-seated fear of abandonment. I'm not ashamed to admit that. We all have our ways of coping. Some people drink, some people shop, some people bury themselves in work. I choose to love. I choose to fill my life with as much connection, affection, and joy as I can, from multiple sources. It's my way of healing. Each new connection, Each moment of shared laughter and intimacy helps to mend a small piece of my broken past. It's like applying a soothing balm to old wounds. This path has allowed me to love more freely and fearlessly. Because the risk is managed, I can be more open, more vulnerable, and more giving in each relationship. I'm not constantly holding back, afraid that if I give too much, I'll be left with nothing. I know that I have a network of love that will catch me. It's a system I built for myself, to allow my heart to stay open in a world that has tried so hard to shut it down. It's my way of fighting back against the pain, not by closing myself off, but by opening myself up even wider. It's my amazing way of healing. At the end of the day, there is no one-size-fits-all formula for love. Your heart, your rules. For years I tried to fit into the mold that society created for me. I tried to follow the script, find the one, settle down, and live happily ever after. But that story never felt like my own. It felt like I was wearing a costume that was too tight, trying to play a role I was never meant for. The most amazing thing I have ever done is to stop auditioning for that role and start writing my own script. A script where love is not limited, where happiness is not confined, and where my heart is free. My journey into polyamory was not about being promiscuous or being unable to commit. It was the complete opposite. It was a deeper commitment to myself, a commitment to my own happiness and well-being. It was a commitment to honesty, to communication, and to building relationships that are authentic and sustainable for me. It's about creating a life that is filled with an abundance of love, rather than a scarcity of it. It's my personal revolution against the fairy tales that left me brokenhearted. I am building my own castle, and it has many rooms for many kinds of love. To anyone out there who feels like they don't fit the mold, who has been hurt, who is questioning the rules, listen to your heart. It knows what it needs. Don't let the mere teases of the world dictate your happiness. Don't let fear of judgment stop you from exploring what feels right for you. Whether it's monogamy, polyamory, or just being happily single with your 10 cats, your happiness is valid. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. Nurture it, protect it, and be unapologetically true to it. So this is me, a heartbroken, healing, and happy polyamorist. My love life might be unconventional, it might be chaotic, and it might be too much for some people to understand. But it is mine. It is real, it is honest, and it fills my life with more joy than I ever thought possible. I have chosen to love in a way that heals me, empowers me, and makes me feel whole. And that, my dear friends, is the most amazing love of all. Be true to your heart, and you will find your own brand of happiness. Boom, you got it.